Hello everyone, I80386SX, and we are going to feature another vintage computer repair video. Today, this is sort of a user request that I got going to be featuring today. You are staring at a Compaq Armada 7700 series. It's a 7770 DMT to be exact. I know, I'm trying to say that one fast 3 times. And you'll notice that there's a battery replacement already sitting here. A couple disclaimers to go over with you on this video before we get into it. This laptop is actually missing its existing battery. Well, it's not missing, it's in my hand right here. And there's a reason why, as you can tell, that I pulled it out. And there's the outer shell of it. So I'm hoping that this will fix our time issue and there isn't something else that's soldered on. But I did take this computer apart this morning. I didn't see anything else soldered on, so I think this guy controls both the hibernation and the clock. Second disclaimer, maybe doing things a little bit on the untraditional side with this one because my the little ribbon cable that controls the speakers in this thing broke off. I think I slid it back in place, but I'm not sure. And unfortunately, the hard drive I have in here has Windows NT4 on it without sound card drivers, so I couldn't test that either way. But for the time being, we're not going to worry about that. So we are going to jump right into this, and we're going to show you where the battery is supposed to be, put this guy in, and hope for the best. Now, the good news is that for the most part, this only requires one tool. I recommend that you go magnetic. It is a T8 Torx bit is what you will be using for the vast majority of this teardown and repair. So let's get right into it. I am due, by the way, I will, once I get more of these cells that go into here in stock, I will be selling these on eBay or whatever means possible. So when they get in stock, and I also do have a video if you want to make them yourself where you can't get them import from the United States or it's not cost effective. So either way, I will help you out the best I can. First thing is first, disconnect all power sources. Even if this main battery, if that's a glorified paperweight, remove it anyway. And next you'll want to, you don't have to remove the floppy, but we're going to. I'm having a brain fart here. I'm not going to remove the hard drive because it's simply not necessary to do. Skip that off to the side and open her up. Now, even before you do that, I'm already screwing this up. You will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws to get the keyboard off. So let's do that. A third disclaimer, if I haven't said it already, this is nowhere near as easy as the LTE series in terms of getting them apart. There's a lot more screws involved, and while it's somewhat modular, it's nowhere near as modular or as easy as any of the LTE series laptops. So do keep that in mind. I think I got most of them. Maybe, and it's a real good idea to have a clear working surface and a secure working surface when you're doing this. Or a magnetic screwdriver at minimum. I unfortunately don't have that, such luxury right now, but we'll make it work. The screws seem like they never end in this thing. But good news, my toolkit is ideal for repairing eyeglasses, watches, computers, cell phones, etc. And this is definitely a computer, although barely. Some of y'all might call this a nightmare. And when you tip it over, make sure you return with 8 screws. And I have 6. So 2 of them are still at large or still in play here. Or I even miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, we got 7. I have one that's still in here. It's just not quite there yet. Alright, now all 8 are out. It doesn't get easier from here, unfortunately. So this whole assembly lifts out. You may have to lift the screen like so. And this doesn't come out particularly easy. At this point, I am going to remove the hard drive. I think there's a latch there that needs to go, and that will be easier to get rid of. I think. Yeah. So there's a latch between the battery and the hard drive right here. Let me get in your camera here. Yeah, so this is one thing you got to watch out for. You can set that off to the side for now. Now you are staring at an open shell. Now if you want to put the hard drive back in for weight, this is a good opportunity to do so. I am going to. And the floppy drive could go back in. There's no voltage there, no harm, no foul. If you do put the battery back in, now I don't recommend it because you're going to be flipping this thing around. So the next thing we need to do is we need to get these cards out of the way. This is the sound card and the modem. They're just going to be in the way, so let's at least unscrew them. And I'm going to try something a little bit untraditional in terms of repair, because my sound cable is at minimum weak. At worst, it's completely hosed. Oh, that one wasn't even tightened in. Okay. Oh, maybe we can't remove those yet. You may have slightly more or less screws depending on who got to it before I did, or you did, or the previous owner. I didn't get to all the Armadas in the world. So, this is where the repair is going to get fun. I don't think this lifts quite up yet. Well, yeah, maybe. We need to remove the screen, because your battery is actually going to be behind this ribbon in a plastic housing. So let's get this screen out of here to the best of our abilities. There are actually 6 screws that handle this piece of the puzzle. Now put this down like so. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, no brainer, right? Then there's 2, there's one right here, and there's another right there. They're black screws, typically. So those need to go too. That's very important in this whole surgery that we're trying to do here. And eBay wants to tell me something. But not until after surgery. Don't need the remote control for now. You may have to hold your screen in position until you fully get all the ribbon cables unseated. Those are very delicate little ribbon cables. And we need 2 more that we need to remove. We'll do that right now. The next steps are going to be a little bit more difficult to show you, but we'll get there. Like I said, you will have to hold your LCD screen in place for a little bit until you fully unfasten this from its body. And there's a couple screws holding the plastic housing for the CMOS battery, if there were one in place. this is the part that's going to be a little bit untraditional because my ribbon cable for the sound is definitely broken. I think I pulled a little too hard on it this morning when I tried to do the surgery, or practice surgery if you will. Alright, so this is going to be fun to show you here. Bear with me while I think this through. Okay, so if the screen will stay there by itself, I think I could take this off. Yeah. If you look real closely, there's a green screw there. There's also one underneath the sound card modem. Those need to come out. And I also need not to put my hand in front of the camera. And this is where it's going to get tough. I may have to pull that cable out regardless. This is going to be a bummer if I have to do that. Maybe I can get around this. And my cable broke off in such an unfortunate position that soldering is even going to be difficult, even for the very talented soldering folks out there. Yeah, and there's a piece of metal that just came undone. I honestly don't know where it came from, but we'll cross that bridge when we have to get there. So the two screws, I believe, are just about out. So you should be able to, in theory, provided they're all the way out, and they may not be, so you're able to grab this little connector on both ends, or even maybe carefully get it out one side at a time. There are two hard plastic things, tabs you can press on, and unfortunately, well, there goes the idea of being careful with the sound cable. And that is definitely a goner, because I lost even more pins. Oh well. Try to be real careful. So that is gone. That is detached. And now the screen is detached from the unit. But not so fast. You think we're done with the screen? Oh no. No chance. And yeah, this is turning into a not such a great video. Yeah. Stupid screw. Alright, so the battery somehow, some way is supposed to get into this device. So we do that by sliding this metal holder. There's tabs right here where I just pointed out to, so we need to get through there. And then I gotta do a little memory work here. Battery does shove in, and the cable actually supposed to go through there, and I forgot to do that first time around, so we'll correct our work right now. And it is a very tight fit, so do bear that in mind here. So if you do make these batteries yourself, it's gonna have to be a near perfect fit. But it's in there. So now this thing, in theory, should slide right on. I say in theory because, you know, how things work with me. All right, so that's good news is that is now in place. And there's supposed to be 6 pins on this sound cable, not 3. So this thing just literally just busted into tiny little pieces. And I think that was my fault, to be honest. Keep in mind, there is a metal shield right below where the battery would go. Make sure that is in the correct spot before you do anything else. Now, carefully put everything back into position here. A lot harder with a battery in here. I did take the battery out quite a while ago. do keep in mind that the foolish surgery I did this morning was to see if there was other batteries in here, say, like the Armada 7800, which had a second battery in it, or a third battery, if you will, if you count the main one. So that is back in play. So we can now reconnect our display cable. And more bad news is I had lost another pin to the sound cable. So hopefully one of those will come up on eBay, because this one just disintegrated into tiny little pieces. And okay, this is going about as good as I expected it to go. Now, another tool, if you don't have a magnetic screwdriver on your hands, would be a needle nose pliers. Hunt down my toolbox here. Ah, shoot. Well, we'll get this attached a little bit more in a smarter way, I hope. There we go. So that's in. And now at this point you can reattach the screws on the display. And then from there I'm going to try that other green screw again, because I have a feeling that that will be a lot easier once I get this secured again. That is if I could get this back in. There we go. Hey, that'll do it. And maybe not send the physically challenged to go do this exercise. Jeez Louise. Oh, there's that metal piece again. Throw it off to the side just for a bit till I figure out exactly where that goes. And this side just doesn't want to have any part of going back in its proper spot. There you go. Got it to finally catch. Holy smokes, that was a nightmare. Alright, so I got that. Alright, so we got all our screws, or 4 out of the 6 screws back. And we forgot about these in the back, in this back center. Will they start? Yep, no sweat. And I am a little bit thankful that this is the lesser of my 2 Armada 7700 series laptops. Okay, so the next question, where does this end go? Well, now I can raise this up. It's in this dirty connector right there, where my thumb is. That's where you would plug that in. There's a tab, at least on the ones I'll be selling. You want the tabbed part going towards, if you're standing in front of the laptop, going towards you. So the red, or this part with this little stick out, if you will, is going towards the optical and hard drives and battery section. This one might not be so easy. Okay, what we got going? I did have a lot of trouble with this one. There may be some cleanup or some abnormality I have to sort out. Oh man. I have to get a flathead in there and say why this is just being such an undesirable little pill today. There we go. It is in, but it is not pretty. So now we want to tuck these cables out of the way. And it's not in the way of the PCMCAA, so that's good. And so all we got to do is put this machine back together and pour one out for the destroyed sound cable. So no sound from this guy. I think I can tuck that behind there. The sound card and the modem do separate. That's maybe something I should have tried before I blew this up completely. If any of you do have this cable that's not broken, love to hear from you. Maybe list it on eBay and let me know, and I will buy it off of you. The part number 213364. And I don't know what the rest is, but I assume 001. And there's also a 213362 on the bottom half of this cable. So maybe, just maybe. But, yep, the other pinch is basically disintegrated. Rest in peace, cable. You did 20 years of good service. I can't be mad at you. So. And unfortunately, I think I made a little bit of a mistake here with this plastic piece, so I may have to, or do I? Hold on here. This tutorial is going all sorts of south right now. May have to unscrew that. So, sure I'm going to get roasted for this one, but it is what it is. I just got to lift this up just enough to get this back in place. There's a little tab that just this fits in. Fits like a glove when everything goes smooth. And if you followed this tutorial blindly and got screwed up like I did, I apologize. Alright, there's that screw is in. It's already turning into a 23-minute disaster. And why on earth does this side not want to go in? There we go. Did I tell you recently that I much prefer working on LTEs over these things? In case I didn't, I'm going to say it again. LTEs are much funner to work on than these damn Armadas. And now this screw wants to be a... man, I just can't win. Awesome. I think I stripped a screw. Yeah. Not a good way, not a smart way to... what do I know? Now, if I remember correctly, I think the shielding went like so. know, maybe at this point I should turn the machine on and make sure that I don't blow anything up. It's been going that way. Let's do that. My battery started at something, each cell was like 1.3 volts, so somewhere around 4 volts this battery is currently residing at. This is a curve. I do have to put the keyboard on. No, I don't. Okay, it turned on by itself. Let's leave it on for a second here. Oh, it's got NT4 on it, that's right. I just said that probably earlier in the video. So now, do I dare try to find out what the voltage of this battery currently is? I think I could do it without taking that thing out. Yep, 7.8 volts, so we are, I think, hold on here. Let's make some good contact here again and see what we get. I had good contact. Why is everything gotta be so darn difficult? That bipolar piece of crap. Yeah, I think it's going. So, all right, so let's put the computer the rest of the way back together. And all that's left after this is just the keyboard. I'm just going to tuck the sound underneath this and hope that's good enough. Ah, dang it. Oh, and I didn't tighten that one either. Alright, now we're getting somewhere with that one. Don't over tighten them, apparently, because otherwise the bad things will happen, like twisted metal. And I'm not talking about the band either. So now, we'll put this screw in with the needle nose. That's looking a little bit more promising. Alright, so all you got left to do is the keyboard. The way my luck is going, I'm losing everything else, so. I'll be honest, that That LCD screw really kind of ticks me off, but... That one, is it gonna do something? I keep tightening and tightening and nothing happening. Okay, there we go. That one seemed like it took forever. This computer does not want to cooperate at all today. It's really unfortunate. So, all their screws are pretty much back in. I'm not going to press my luck any further with that bottom hinge screw than I already have. So, last but not least is to make sure the thing does indeed power up. It doesn't start any fires. It does power up. And I do not know what the I know what the username is, but I have no idea what the password is to this Windows installation that is currently installed on this machine. It currently has Windows NT4 Server on it, which I use for another tutorial. The only reason why I use NT4 Server was to go with age-appropriate hardware, and hey, this computer was plenty portable, so it worked out. I guess at this point I can put this battery back in. And there we go. It looks a little purple on the camera. I rest assure you it is not purple on my monitor here. That's the important part, or maybe the TV is doing it. I'm not sure which one looks more purple, but yep, this was definitely used in a previous YouTube tutorial without question, because I don't have anything called fake domain on a live environment. So and it looks like everything is working okay beyond the unfortunate speaker situation. So, alright, so that's pretty much it for this video, and very soon I will be putting the batteries up for sale on eBay as soon as stock comes in, and maybe a little while down the road I will be putting a video on how to make one of these on my channel down the road. And so, if you went through this whole thing, thank you very much. I know it was definitely a bumpy ride, and some unexpected things definitely happened, and probably didn't do the due diligence I should have, but regardless, we got the battery in, it's charging, so at the end of the day, we got her done. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you have that audio cable, please contact me. I really like to get this thing going to its full capacity, and even though it's kind of in sad shape, that's kind of a big deal. So again, if you made it through this, thank you very much for watching. I hope I helped somebody, and happy listening and happy viewing.